Nicola Hill. Nicola, tell us about the latest findings from the Oxford University and AstraZeneca team.
Well, it's great to be able to give good news 2 days on the run, really, here, isn't it? So this, as you said then, Adnan, this is their phase 1/2 trial. This is one that's actually looking to see whether the vaccine can produce enough of an immune response in a person's body. So it's looked at the neutralising antibodies, and it's found out that 99% of the participants produce these neutralising antibodies, which, as the name says, neutralises the virus, and also T cells. And it is really important because this is amongst all age groups, which is vital for the older population because, of course, they're the ones who are more vulnerable to this virus. So Professor Andrew Pollard, who's the head of the Oxford group, said he's absolutely delighted with these results because there's something called immunosenescence. This is when your immune system begins to wane as you get older, and that's why there's been a lot of fears that any vaccine that was produced against the coronavirus wouldn't be as effective in the older population. But we've already seen from both the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine and the Moderna one that that's not the case. They do seem to be working in an older population, and now it seems that the Oxford-AstraZeneca vaccine might be effective as well. And the reason I'm saying might be is because, again, as you just highlighted, this is the phase 1/2 trials. It doesn't actually show whether the vaccine prevents the coronavirus because we won't know those till we get results of the phase 3 trials that are underway. 30,000 people in the US as well as in Brazil and here in the UK. And the reason why this is a little behind the Moderna and the Pfizer results is simply because over the summer period, we actually managed to reduce the amount of virus in the community. And so they have to wait until enough people in this trial get the coronavirus to be able to determine whether it's the people who are in the placebo arm, i.e. those who were given a saline solution and not the real vaccine, or whether it's the people who were vaccinated who come down with the coronavirus. So Professor Pollard says he hopes to have that by the end of this year. He says they're working 7 days a week, but he's not going to rush anything. So that's the good news about that. And then we've also heard from the chief exec of BioNTech, Dr. Sahini, who, as we know, is Turkish of origin, has actually said that they're looking at a new way of developing their vaccine. They hope by the middle of next year they won't have to keep it in such cold circumstances at this -70, which is going to cause a problem for distribution. So he's looking to see if they can develop it so they can distribute it in an easier way.
OK, so we have AstraZeneca, we have Pfizer, we have Moderna, Sinovac from China, quite confident in its vaccine, Sputnik 5, which they say is between 92 to 95% effective. We are actually getting closer and closer to having an injection which contains a vaccine. But when that moment comes, some people are going to be scared. In Denmark recently, entire neighborhoods were banging pots and pans because they believed their government was going to make it mandatory to have the vaccine. And people are fearful. But you and I, we both saw the same tweet from an NHS doctor in England who posted on Wednesday his ideas about why these vaccines will be safe. Just talk us through his reasoning.
Yeah, this is Dr. Mark Toshner. He's at Cambridge University. He's a clinical trials doctor. I think his tweet was fantastic, the way he's explained it. What's happened, the reason that we've been able to speed up the development of the coronavirus vaccine has simply been because everybody has thrown their efforts, their money and their time towards it. Science really has come together. Now, what Dr. Toshner has explained in a series of tweets is the fact that one of the problems ordinarily is, first of all, you have to wait for the funding for something like this. Running any clinical trial is expensive. Then you have to get the trial site set up, the physical site. You have to get people called the principal investigators to lead those trials. And then you have to get volunteers, people who are willing to take part in clinical trials. After that, you've got to have the regulatory approval. Now, I was speaking to one of these PIs who's been working on one of the vaccines, and he said to me what's amazing at the moment is the fact that the regulatory authorities are monitoring the work as the trials are progressing. They're not waiting until all the science has come together for them then to sit down and start going through it. I've been told sometimes people sit there and they wait for a year or so before the regulatory authorities have got the time to go through their results. So that's why it's taken it's been done at warp speed, to use one of those expressions. And that's why things have been condensed. They've really condensed all the work. But it is still just as safe as any other trial. Some people are saying, well, hang on, you haven't got long-term safety. You know, we might have this vaccine, we might see side effects in a year's time. And Dr. Toshner has taken the time to reply to those queries, saying that with any drug, you normally see side effects very, very quickly. And these haven't been seen in all the trials. And this is another point that everyone's been raising, is that the trials of the vaccines that we've heard about just the last 2 weeks seem to be very safe. Only side effects are like a bit of fatigue or a headache. And so Dr. Toshner is saying that, you know, all drugs, all vaccines are all followed up afterwards. It's called collection of real world data. And that's what will happen with this vaccine. But obviously people are hesitant. I mean, I've had friends actually say to me, oh, I'm not sure if I want to take it yet, I'd rather wait. And I've just said to them, well, wait for whom? Someone's going to try, and you're going to put yourself at risk waiting for a vaccine? I don't think so. I'll be there straight away. Give me that shot.
I'll tell you what, Nicola, do me a favour. For any viewers watching, I'll do the same. Retweet that thread from that NHS doctor who lays it out why he believes it's safe to take a vaccine. I promise I will do the same. So if you're watching us, search for Nicola Hill. I am at AO Nawaz. I'll retweet it straight after this programme. It's definitely worth reading.